What's going on, everyone? It's Greeny here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're looking at gaming, specifically Web3 gaming, and why that is a significant narrative that you want to be placing your bets on this cycle. If you like my content, subscribe down below, hit that notification bell so you stay up to date with my daily crypto videos. I'm currently running a sale on my private alpha group. If that's something you're interested in, please reach out over DMs on Twitter. Alternatively, all my free links and free resources are down below. That's my Telegram, that's my referral to MEX Global, and to Coinspot if you're an Australian trader. Secondly, on Tuesday, I'll be running my first live stream. Here are the details. You can find them on Twitter, okay? So on Tuesday, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 7 a.m., I'll be running a live stream here on YouTube. So feel free to drop in for 5, 10, 20, even an hour if you'd like to. And we can discuss trading, how I go about trades. You can ask me any questions about Web3 in general, and I will be able to answer them for you. All right, on to today's video. So Web2 Gaming is a significant reason that I'm placing my bets and hedging my bets against Web3 Gaming receiving some of that liquidity, okay? So just to paint a picture for you, I just want to sort of see, I want you to see where I dive into my mind about where we can see the potential of Web3 gaming taking off, okay? We'll talk a little bit about the stats in Web2, okay? So what we currently see in gaming industry in the world at the moment. Then we'll dive into some of the tokens that ran last cycle in the gaming narrative, okay? And then at the end, I'll speak to you about some of the ones that I'm most excited for in this current cycle, okay? So if we have a look here, there's about 3 billion active video game players in the world. Now, if you think about that, that's more than 30% of the population currently play video games every single day, okay? Or every single week, all right? That's a pretty crazy stat. And within that, obviously, people generally do like to try and play the free games, but people spend money in the games, okay? So that's where the money will translate into Web3 gaming, particularly around GameFi and skins and that sort of thing. You've seen how big Fortnite is, okay? For sure, that'll translate into Web3 in the coming years, okay? But if you just have a quick look through some of these, okay? So this is just trending upwards, okay? So number of gamers is just, it's ridiculous, really, isn't it? And to be honest, it might even hit 4 billion sooner than this prediction occurs. So by 2030, I think easily 4 billion people could be playing video games weekly slash daily. As you can see here, it's trending up nearly 5 to 10% every single year, so that's very bullish for gaming as a entertainment industry. As you can see here, it's dominated worldwide, and that's what excites me the most about gaming in Web3 is that it's not just a niche. Yes, obviously the US plays a lot of esports. They are the epicenter, let's call it, of gaming. They have the money, they have the industries, they have the arenas, etc., to really upskill players and bring in people for tournaments and competitions and that sort of thing. So that's where I definitely see a lot of people and coming from the US and China. Again, I just want to show you some of the revenue, okay? So if you have a look here, it's predicted by 2028 that over $400 billion will be generated in gaming, okay? So obviously that's just Web2 gaming, and we will get to Web3 gaming shortly, and I'll show you the discrepancy between that value here, okay? So obviously we're down here in the 200 billion stage at the moment, and where Web3 gaming, is currently. Again, just to show you a bit of interest, okay, it's a whole range of different gaming types, and that's what excites me too about Web3. It's just not your passive games, it's not your active games, it's not your first-person shooters. It's a whole range of different games that see a lot of money, but also a lot of interest every single day, okay? So just to just to translate this a little bit further, okay, we've noticed that big industries, so we're thinking our Apples, our Microsofts, our Alphabets, so Google, Amazons, etc. Meta is a really good play, obviously, but those industries and those companies are starting to really translate into the gaming world because they're seeing how many people play games, okay? So as soon as they start actively building their side of it and trying to get exposure to blockchain and to Web3, okay, so decentralized sort of side of things, then I think this translates very nicely into Web3 gaming. So to start the conversation off, what is GameFi? So GameFi is a market segment with decentralized finance, so that's DeFi, ecosystem that combines blockchain technology with the elements of game theory, NFTs, metaverses, etc., on a specific cryptocurrency. Now, obviously, a lot of the things that we'll talk about today are particular tokens. They either have their own gaming narrative by their own game, or they have their own token, they have their own ecosystem, they've built their own blockchain, or they've built their own NFTs, etc., etc. We'll unpack that as the video goes on. All right, so just for comparatively, like I spoke about before, look at this market cap, okay? It's currently only at 17 billion. Now, you saw just before in Web2, we see 250 billion currently in Web2 gaming, okay? It's a no-brainer for me, particularly the decentralized aspect of it, okay, is why I get excited about the potential of GameFi, okay? Stake to earn, okay? Play to earn, in-game assets, so skins, the fact that you could own a skin and then sell it for money, okay? That is going to translate the world, okay? And we're starting to see it, okay? You see some RuneScape rare skins, you see some Fortnite skins sell for an incredible amount of money, okay? And that's why I think Web3 gaming will really, truly take off. And that's why I want to be hedging your bets on this moving into 2024 and beyond for gaming in Web3. So obviously we're looking at CoinMarketCap here. You can rank it by the top gaming tokens across market capitalization. Okay, so that just means it's market cap. I always like to go through these pages and just see what's trending. So as you can see here, it's already starting to take off. Beam, for example, up 70% in the past week, okay? And as you start to scroll down, you start to see a common trend. Now, the common trend in the 2 cycles ago was obviously Ethereum DeFi, so that took off exponentially, okay? Last cycle, it was gaming on Binance Smart Chain. Now, I traded in and out, and I'll show you some of those tokens very shortly, of a couple tokens that did incredible returns in a very short amount of time. Now, we need the liquidity in the system for these to really take off and for us to be kind of degenerate in a way. This is very risky. This is not financial advice, just to be clear, but I'm just saying that these can reap insane rewards very quickly if there's enough liquidity in the system. So traditionally, money goes into Bitcoin, goes into the top altcoins. So I'm thinking Solana, Ethereum, the top XRP examples, and then eventually it floods down into your lower cap gems. And that's where you really want to take that trend and make sure that you're catching on to the different narratives as they go along. But obviously some of these bigger tokens are great DCA plays for a longer term horizon, okay? Again, I just want to clarify too that it's always good to check multiple websites. So always do your own research across several different websites just to make sure you're not missing something that could potentially take off. So here we have GameFi on CoinGecko, and if you notice, some of these tokens actually aren't on CoinMarketCap. So it's really good to just be checking some of these returns on both, okay, just in case you miss out on a potential play. Now, back to last cycle, we were in and out of several Binance Smart Chain games, okay. Now, this was obviously very speculative. A lot of this didn't really come into fruition, so a couple of them did, a couple of them didn't. Okay, it was all speculation, all very much hype, which is where you want to kind of place your bets in crypto. That's how you make money over a period of time, okay. But this cycle, we're starting to see implementation of actual genuine Web3 games, and that's what we'll talk about towards the end of the video. So just to show you a bit of comparison. So D-Race is a big one, okay? I'm sure you heard Alex Becker and a few people talk about D-Race before. But if you got into this nice and early, so if you're catching the wave, okay, so down here we're at 54 cents, even up to that, that's a $3.4 dollar return in the space of 2 weeks, right? So that's a 7x in 2 weeks, okay? But if you actually held on to it, okay, and if you caught a higher returns, okay, you could have got in at about 50, 60 cents. And I think I got in on this dip here down to the dollars. I remember buying D-Race around that $1, $2 sort of mark, okay, because I missed that first pump, but you want to catch that first dip and then look where it went to, okay, went up to $8. So that's an easy 4x, okay, 5x really, if you're catching this dip here. But obviously if you got in nice and early, that's nearly a 20x, okay. So that's one example. Another one was Altura. All right, so again, nothing. Okay, liquidity starts to enter the gaming system, those lower cap gems. I remember this being like a very low market cap route, so it's at 50 million now. I remember this being at 10 million from last cycle. And then bang, here's that first pump, okay? But again, I just want to show you, don't hedge your bets in that first pump. You just never know how quickly some things can take off. So if we have a look, this is that pump that we were just talking about, 2 cents. It pumped up to 6 cents, came back down, retested 4, went like that for a month, but then bang, went ballistic to 40 cents. So again, if you're getting down in here, okay, that's nearly a 10x up to the 40 cent price, all right? And again, the next one I just want to show you is Sandbox. Obviously, this was that in Decentraland were the two gaming narratives last cycle. They took off. I remember getting into this around that 2 cent sort of mark way back here because I was just DCAing into those plays because I heard rumors nice and early in the cycle. Like we've seen already the past couple of weeks that gaming is going to take off because there's actual evidence of games being played. I remember DCAing it down here, and then eventually did take off. But then again, I just want to show you, okay, timing is everything in Web3, all right? And if we have a look here, that is what we were looking at just before, okay? It peaked up here. Obviously, you can get some pretty crazy returns. That's a 10x kind of in itself there. But if you just play your cards right and you track the liquidity across this niche of gaming, okay, you can turn so much money into... you can turn not much money into so much money if you just catch the right play. So that's 100x just there on Sandbox. So just for context around some of the games that are starting to run, or gaming tokens that have started to run this cycle. But I've spoken about Shrapnel before. I've posted this on my timeline. It's already at $1.15 billion market cap. Now that's insane, all right? And if you look, it literally debuted a month ago. So if you manage to catch this wave nice and early, okay, you'd be up a 4x already on this token. Now, again, I like to trade it. Obviously, you've seen that on my Twitter. You've seen that on my YouTube. I'm a trader. But also, I like to catch these sort of narratives nice and early. And so I saw this during this consolidation phase here. And again, this is when we want to be buying tokens. Don't buy tokens when they're pumped. This is not financial advice, but buy the red days, etc., 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 when it consolidates for a period of time, and then watch it go up. Okay, so again, they brought out a token. They also brought out some NFTs. Now, if you have a look at this as well, these NFTs, which are part of the game, okay, have ran so much already. So you could have caught dips, like they're obviously older than a month, but you could have caught dips down here at 0.2, under 0.2 at 0.15, and they're really already taking off. It's already a 3x literally in about a month and a half, okay? So find the narratives, find the plays, and you can really reap rewards across NFTs, across tokens, getting early interest, but also early liquidity into something like Cedarfly, for example, the launch pad, and then you can get the pre-sale of a particular gaming token that's up and coming, okay, etc., etc. Now, again, I spoke about this previously in other videos. You want to be placing your bets as a whole in the big ecosystem, which is something like Avalanche or Solana or Polygon, okay, and finding the narratives that are underneath those that will really reap those 20x's, those 50x's, those 100x's, okay? But if you want to hedge your bets in a real safe sort of way, you could obviously have exposure to Avalanche or Solana, for example, because they are under the game narrative as well. Okay, so that's just where I want to touch on. Again, I've spoken about Vulcan Forge a lot, but this is sort of the token that I want you to think about. Now, I've showed you the chart before. It consolidated, broke out. Now we had a retest. Now we're back up a little bit higher again. Okay, it's already done a 2 to 3x from its bear market lows. But again, you want to find stuff that has genuine utility. So if you see here, they have 20,000 members already, okay? They have 10 NFT and gaming products that are being used every single day already. So you want to place your bets here, guys, okay? You want to place your bets here. And so if you have a look here, these are just some of the games that they have across their different system, okay, in there. But that's exactly why you want to place your bets in gaming, okay? Because they actually have genuine products that are seeing interest. That means that people flood their investments to those particular tokens, and that's where we're trying to make the money, okay? Lastly, one that definitely ran last cycle, it ran up about a 10x, was Illuvium, obviously. Again, you want to find stuff that actually has genuine products. Okay, these guys are Australian. I don't know them. I'm not an affiliate, etc. I'm just showing you that this is a really good play potentially in the gaming narrative. Okay, look at these graphics in the game and the design of the game. Okay, the cards, etc., etc. Okay, so find genuine games, find genuine opportunities and tokens or NFTs that have that exposure to the gaming side, and then that's where you want to be placing your bets. Okay. Think about it. Go back to the start of the video. Watch how much money is in Web2 games, okay? Billions, 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 hundreds of billions, okay? That will translate to Web3 games if in the next couple years, if not in the next 10 years, for sure, okay? So, just as a reminder, let's have a look at some of the tokens that I've been interested in for a while, okay? So, again, I've spoken about Immutable X. It's obviously on Ethereum and Polygon, okay? Essentially, it's dominating, okay, the gaming narrative. They have a platform, they have a marketplace, they release games, they help people build games, etc., etc., okay? So definitely do your own research into these tokens, but that's one that I've had on my cards for a long time. Render, obviously I spoke about that in my top altcoin videos as an AI infrastructure play. Again, do your own research, look into that one. But as liquidity starts to enter, so as you can see here, we got green across the boards, okay, which is exactly where you want to be packing your bags, okay? You don't want to be in the wrong narrative because you won't see these green returns, okay? Beam on an absolute tear, spoke about that in my top 10 altcoin video as well, so definitely check that one out as well, and why I think that is one of my top 10 altcoin picks right now. As you can see here, it's up 63% literally in the last week as well. Again, as you start to come down, we spoke about Illuvium just before, you start to see that the market cap obviously starts to dip, okay? So we're down in the 400 million sort of range right now. Magic has some very interesting plays at the moment. It's an Arbitrum. token that could be potentially building their own blockchain. So that's something I'm excited about. They have a big NFT following. They have a big gaming ecosystem there as well. So definitely look into the Magic token. Echelon Prime have their, again, this is a great example. Okay, so if I just, let's open this up. Let's have a look at it. Let's look at the chart, all right? So again, this token has gone up. I remember seeing it about $2 or $3 a couple months ago, okay? But if you have a look, okay, this is what you want to find. You want to find tokens that have genuine utility, okay? And are building the hype around their game. As you can see, if you hold this for a long enough period of time, you can literally, that's probably about a 5x if you caught the bottom, obviously, but about a 3x from where I first saw it, okay? So again, find those tokens like that, okay, that have that potential, all right? Falcon Forge, spoke about that a lot. Cetify, as I said earlier in the video, if you want early exposure to some of these new tokens that are coming on the block, look into Cetify, okay? It's a launch pad that I would recommend you joining. Ronin on an absolute tear, 70% this week. Again, do your own research into Ronin. Has a lot of potential in the gaming space, a lot of potential. Big time, you would have seen this probably across your timeline as well, 190%, okay? Again, there's utility there. There's a reason it's pumping, okay? And as you start to go down, Nakamoto Games is one, again, I spoke about previously in my top 10 altcoin video. Has a good platform. Have a look into that one as well. Wilderword has that metaverse narrative as well, etc., etc. So definitely look into that. And as we start to see liquidity, as I said earlier, flow from Bitcoin into those top alts, into medium alts, into the low cap gems, that's when you want to maybe go a little bit lower, okay? That's when you want to look down here, look at potential new tokens that are on the block, okay? Or tokens that are starting to run up, okay? So you want to look over on the chart over here. You want to see that it's moving up, okay? So NFT Worlds, they had a huge run last cycle in an NFT, but they have taken off just this last week, okay? So they have their own token, they have their own NFTs, and again, if you're there early and you're realizing that this narrative's taken off, or you're tracking the volume of the token, or the volume of the NFTs, you'll be able to pick up these plays nice and early and get some insane returns, okay? And again, this is where you start to get a bit speculative. We have D-Race down here at 50 million. We spoke about that earlier as well. But this is where you can make those 20x's down below. So again, this is my narrative. This is one of my narratives that I am really hedging my bets, but also spending more time in this, okay? You don't want to spread yourself too thin by looking to have a piece of the pie in every single way, okay? Find your narrative that works for you and focus on that for this cycle. That is how you will make the best returns for your investments, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below any questions you have, any tokens you think I should check out. I'm running my live stream next Tuesday, so again, we can speak about gaming there as well. So please come along, subscribe down below so that you stay up to date. Hit that notification bell. It helps you stay up to date with my daily content. And again, I'm running that private group sale. If that's something you're interested in, reach out over DMs. But again, I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers.